What's up, guys? This is Rubicon Vale here, doing another triple triad tournament. This week, it is the Manderville Tournament of Champions, the Lightning card. I already have a Lightning card, but it's all good. Hopefully get some Platinum packs out of this, and show you guys what's going on with the tournament. Here's where the rankings are right now. Hopefully we can get on the board here. I have been playing this week, so I'm not necessarily cold. I hadn't been playing a lot today, but I've been playing this week, so I'm not terribly cold at the cards. So we'll see how we do. And again, I'm just going to play the NPC, the highest ranked one in there, and go from there. But hopefully we have a good tournament. So let me queue on in. I've gotten some questions recently about how I play certain opponents. Really, how some of the rule sets work. So we'll go in here and I'll show some of the rule sets and why I play certain cards a certain way. Again, this is not necessarily a how to play, but I'm thinking that I want to do something like that. So let me show you my card list. I've changed them a little bit since my previous video. So let's take a look at how my cards are here. Card list. I actually did some work this week. I think I got about 15 more left. So here's my decks. The biggest change I made was I reorganized these in order of preference. And then Fallen Ace, I had this as 187, and it was the same spirit that, you know, ones are in each one of the cards. Show that one in particular. I went with this because I've been playing some of the Stormblood opponents, and in Stormblood, one in particular that's in Kugane plays Fallen Ace, and she was kicking my tail. So I decided I was going to reorganize my Fallen Ace one. So what I got here is Lightning, Sail, Hilda, the Griffin, and Matoya. And my angle with that one is I start Lightning in the bottom right of the board, and then a lot of cards have aces on the right or the bottom. So I've got three guys here that can play a one to the left to take that card, and then Hilda's got the one up, haha, and she can take a card from the bottom. So a card like Squall, which has an ace on the right and the bottom, the one has a chance of capturing that card. My soft rule, though, on that is you don't want to play the Fallen Ace unless you can totally help it. If there's a Squall card in play and you can take the 6 that's on top with an 8, I would prefer to take that than playing the 1 and beat the Fallen Ace, because it still gives your opponent a chance to take that card by playing on the 6. So the Fallen Ace is kind of your ace in the hole, if you will. And the fact that Lightning plays from right to left means none of my cards in a swap scenario, which is like that NPC in Kugane, in a swap scenario, if they take one of these cards, they're not going to be able to use that card against you because the ace is on the left side. But again, this is not a how-to, just as an update for that card. And then I also put them in a different order. I put my Squall, this is my strong. This is basically if I did optimization, the Squall 8. And the only reason I call it Squall 8 is there's a ton of 8s, and Squall is from Final Fantasy XIV. Plus is usually the next deck that I use, and that one has, again, a lot of 8s in it, but you see there's the dual 8s, and Onion Knight also has 8, so I start him in the top right, whereas Squall I would start in the top left. Ascension is what it is. They're all Garlean cards. I did make an update. I put Grinwald here because he also has 7s up and down. I also have something with the order in which they're played. I try to put them in an order that it makes sense to me. So Nero would play the top right, then Ridditon could play possibly top middle, but more than likely just below Nero. And then Gaius is kind of an ace in the hole to take something from either side. Livia coming from the top left, and then Grinwald would be able to fill in some gaps. This one is still like I could use some work on this. When I find an NPC opponent, may have me reorganize the cards. I like the cards, I just may need to reorganize them. Reverse, reverse, this is just a reverse rule set. A lot of 1s, 2s, and 3s in here. I never have any issues with this. Plus, it's got a couple of Beastmen in here just in case there's an Ascension. The only thing would kick your butt would be Descension, but in a reverse scenario, Descension would be very good. And then we went over the Fallen Ace. Once again, this is not a how-to. I would like to make a video on each of the rule sets, and I may do that in the near future, starting with same and plus rules to show how that can be played with your opponents. But anyway, let's go play the Lordling here and see how we do this week. Today we're playing It's All Open Plus rules. With his set though, I may not play the plus deck first. So let's start with the Squall deck first and see if we can brute force it. At least with the open, I can see their cards. So the two rules here, the all open rule, I can see all of his cards. The plus rule means that he, plus me. Let's just go tried and true here. Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to do that. So I'm more than likely am going to go for plus deck for the next one. Well, he is kind of setting me up. Kind of got lucky on that one. And I got a Colibri card. Great. Let's do a rematch, but let's go with the plus deck on this one. Because he's scaring me with his plus. He's playing really smart with the plus. And that's something else. I've been asked, how do you play certain NPCs? You kind of have to lose to him a couple of times so you get the feel for it. On a plus rule set, I really try to play in such a way that I see an opening here already. I play in such a way that I would play the corner. I wouldn't come here because then you've got this and this that he can play plus. But here I've got the 2, 3, and a 9, 8. Meaning, when I play the 2 here, 2 plus 9 is 11, 3 plus 8 is 11, and I turn the card, which forces him either to play here for a plus or just go somewhere else. Now I can play another card without fear of the plus rule. So I can just play safe or I can take. In this scenario, my best card is Matoya because it's the up and down. Matoya's 1 and 3 isn't going to take anything unless the plus rule does something. And see, I even got lucky with the plus because I've got 8s and 3s right here. Here, I'm actually going to play not safe. I'll tell you why. In this scenario, if I play safe and put round rocks here, I'm not taking a card. And if he gets a plus, he can take these 2 cards. At best, I have a draw. At worst, it starts comboing, which it would, and it gets crazy. So I'm going to play Astinian, which takes this card, which puts me up 1, and then just kind of pray to the gods he doesn't have it. Now, I see his card, but if you were blind and you couldn't see his card, you would want to play take in that scenario. And by take, I mean you're taking their card on as many turns as possible, which is what I usually do for the Chaos rule set and the Order rule set. I just take as many cards as possible because it's chaotic, and you just want that. You want that ability to take as much as possible. Now here he's just playing wild. I don't know really what he wants to do. He's got cards that could plus me on this side. If I were to play something that has an 8 on this side, I could see that he could play Vidofnir and take both cards here. And that's exactly what he would play. So I'd rather play to the right. I could take his card, but that's going to give me 2 openings right here. So I'm going to play safe. See, that forces him to use that. Now, I can take that card here, if I would like, or I can play it safe. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it. So we've got 6 and ace here. Possibly with the 6 and 5 is 11, and ace counts as 10, so that's 11. He can take that right back if I take this card. If I go from here, he has less of a chance to plus me. So I am going to go here. and that forces him to make a dumb play. Sometimes the NPCs will make just a stupid play, and you get lucky with that. So we're doing pretty good. Kind of helps to talk it out too when you do this. So I go first because it's my plus set, and this is my powerhouse. I go from the right down, and you want to build your cards in such an orderly fashion that you are, in the case of an order rule set, that you have a plan. Like this would go here, and then I would play Lucia in a corner, and then I would play this, that, and the other. And this one may not be as organized as I would like, but that's the idea. We're just going to do the same thing again here, because the NPC will sometimes do the same moves, but he'll mix it up just a tad, just to see if it can do a little something different. So here again, he's trying to mix it up a bit, but he doesn't really have a play on this one. What he might have a play on is if I play something across here. So you got to do a little bit of quick math. I don't think he has too much of an angle on any of this, so I'm going to do something a little daring. I'm going to play this here. Oh, he plussed me on that one. But I was able to take this card. Got a little lucky, and sometimes that's what it takes, but you buy yourself some luck when you take cards. So if all else fails, take a card. There are moments that you want to play defensively, especially if you're kind of running the board. Examples of that would be to play defensively and play the corner that gives them just 2 red cards where he can't take something, instead of putting a blue card out there that has the chance of getting taken. Now he play in the middle. See, he's changing his strategy up. How will he play me? Something like this, that won't fly, but an 8-7 will. He may have an angle on both sides here. To do so, let us try. Running out of time here. Let's just try this. There you go. See, it didn't have much of a play with that one. Now I could go into take. Now I'm going to do something a little wild. Let's see if it plays out just for the sake of play. I'm going to play, because I don't see any cards on his left and right, I'm going to play Matoya here in the middle. The reason I'm going to do that is because he's got a 1. Matoya has a 1 and a 3 here. He's going to take one of the sides, but I can take the other one back. Alright? So I'm going to use the card to take it back, and you also don't want to play yourself. If I had played that Matoya, and I didn't have a card that could take it back, I just played myself into his hand. So I'm going to play Lucia here, because I can take that. Now I could do, in fact, I could do a little takedown job here on the other side, but it's safer, I think, to play here. Now my math might be wrong. I might have goofed up because of the math. Nah, not really. And it still puts me on top. I could have played Lucia in that corner. My goodness, what's up with the Colibri cards? I could have played Lucia in that corner, and the plus rule would have applied, and it may have been just equally as good of a move. Sip of coffee to move on. But we're on a roll. 5 wins so far. Not too shabby. Plus rule is scary. Plus rule is those that you're going hard and you're feeling good, and then he hits you out of left field. The nice part is it's an all over set. We got it in the bottom, so he's kind of going back to that old way, so you don't want to forget how you played before, because sometimes you can get that NPC in a loop. We're just doing the same thing we did 4 hands ago. Here, I don't quite have a play with these. If I had an 8-8 on that side, I could play that. A and 2 is a 12, but that's a 13. 10 and 12, that's not going to give me much of a play, although I could take. He doesn't have anything that could take these 2, and that's the only angle he's got, is to play here for a plus. He doesn't have it. And I get a lucky plus at the end. I think they should do something that you get a card if you take the whole board. I didn't on that one, but it would be a nice incentive to play stronger, but even so. feels a little redundant, but again, the NPC will start throwing tricks. Yeah, this looks like, oh, it's the same old play. I'm gonna play the same way, but I don't know that the NPC will. And they did. So it makes my life a little easier. I have a pretty decent deck. And then you want to just keep playing until you have a good, decent deck that really won't fail you. Again, the only way is if they do the order rule set in here, that might start to throw me off. I'm going to play Tried and True here. If you put in the middle, that's fine, but you then are dealing with some angles here. But I'm just going to play Tried and True and see what happens. Here, that gives him an opportunity here if it was his turn to do something left and right. If I play here, that gives him 2 opportunities here. I don't want to give him very many opportunities. See, there's no plus rule. He can't plus me because there's not 2 cards right there. Here I can look for a plus angle. So I got 8 and 8. A 2 and 2, or is anything equal on this side? So I'm going to do like a little give me. Plus that keeps him from playing the plus rule. So I'm going to play Estinian here because... 1, he can't plus me and sideswipe me or come out of left field with anything. And also my 8 and 8 plus 8 and 8, 16 on both sides, I win the plus roll. Now here he may have a devious plan. You got to look and see. If I play down here and take the 1, is he going to try 8 and 5 is 12? And then 9 and 1, that's not enough for him to play a plus roll. Also, there's 2 red cards here. If the plus rule wasn't in effect, I would say play here anyway. You're already on top. The opponent can't take their own cards. For me, it doesn't really matter, although I can play it because, in such a way that the plus rule would apply, but it's not necessary. He can't plus out of that situation, so, no big deal. And in the case, again, that even if it wasn't a plus rule set, you would want to play that bottom one, because the opponent cannot take 2 red cards. That's a safety approach. It's a defensive stance. And if you're already ahead, you might as well play defensively at the end. Except when it may be an order or chaos rule set. But you have to weigh your options. Alright. Back at it. Alright. Now I could come from the bottom up and try to do something. I actually am going to go ahead and do that. The reason I'm going to do that is because if I start playing up here, we start getting the board in a bunch of funky configurations. Now he may be doing that to throw me off my game, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to play round rocks because I've got, again, the 8-8 action here, and it saves him from doing the plus. So that gives me 2 cards up. Again, I'm going to want to play down here. I can't take anything, but it's still a defensive stronghold. I'm probably going to play Matoya because Matoya's not going to play very well up here. I don't want to take this card, even though it's like, oh, but you can take this one, Ruby. No, because then plus could go here, plus could go here, and plus could go here. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Matoya because I don't have a 2-3 card that can help me here. Now he kind of plays himself. He can't take these 2 cards. So even if he plays the Byblos here, he can't plus himself. I could go here and do something, but if the Byblos plays well, which it won't, but if the Byblos played well, I would be playing myself. So I'm going to play something to take this card, but the 1 and the 4 won't plus out here. So there's nothing he can do. Hey, Nail Vandarnis card. I'm lucky. It's just some extra MGP. It's a cool card, though. Each rule set will make you play just a little bit differently. Now see, he played me down here, so it goes, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to play defensively? Again, if I play, for example, Lucia here, his Vidofenir will play here. I think last time I went and played Estinian here, and he plays Vidofenir here. But he switched it up on us. He doesn't have anything that can go up and down, but depending on what goes on here, Nail Van Darnus can do something to me here. I don't really want to play in the middle. It's just not a wise move. So an 8-3, I don't think he has anything that can play me on an 8. So let's go for it right here. But he's trying to butter me up. He's trying to see where we can go. We already know none of these can do anything. But should I go for the takedown here? The answer I'm gonna go with is yes, and I'm gonna throw a card away. Well, I have to play this if I want to beat it. But also, she's got a 1 on the left side. That 1 ain't gonna play well with these 1s here, especially with high numbers on the opposite side. There is no plus opportunity because it was 2 low numbers. That 2 is not gonna plus out to anything else that's up here. That was a little scarier of the matches we've had. That was a little scarier because the NPC kind of threw wild to see how I would play. All right, we're halfway through the tournament and we have 10 wins. So let's see how well this streak goes. Don't want to go brain dead, but we've been playing that Estinian there. Again, we're going to play Toya here to get that plus rule and catch that middle. Of course, they take that, but then I have to weigh my options here. Now, the 6 and 8, if this was same rule, the Dauphinir would take these because the 6 and the 8. The 1 and 6 is 7. That dot here, 5 and 8. It's not going to do anything. I'm just going to go ahead and take round rocks. And yes, it only puts me 1 up top, but I'm still a winner. Doesn't matter how many cards you win. It just matters that you win. Tried and true here with the Stinian. Go back to Matoya. Same boat. He doesn't have any different cards. Sometimes NPCs will mix the cards up. My goodness. Make a lot of MGP when we leave here. Also, triple Triad is great for making MGP. If you're in a slump and you want to play some triple Triad, you can make some MGP. So we got a little difference. They threw us a wild card. I have some opportunity here. Let's see. Let's do a little thinking here. It's the wild. It's the wild. Here's where I would say be defensive. You have 8 and 8 here. I don't have a play on any of that. I do have the play though with Matoya here, which is why I kept Matoya. You heard me. There was a little bit of silence there while I was thinking, should I play Estinian or Matoya? The reason is if I played Matoya, it's the same thing, right? I would have taken the card and had the 8 on top. But that 8 and 8 can play, so I get a little extra play right here. See how much? Even if they played a little something up there, I bought myself a couple of extra cards with it. Another scary one, because the NPC threw me a curveball, trying to see how I would play it. Play my Onion Knight in the top. And here, because the plus doesn't apply here. That's the easy take, obviously. Which also, if I use Lucia, I still have Matoya that can play the up and down, and Estinian can play from the bottom up. He's a power bottom. if you will. You got to look at where your numbers are and what direction their strength goes. See it here. So we got the 7 and 6. We don't really have anything that can play there. Now we got to think about math. If I play the 8 here, yes, I can take, and yes, they would not be able to do math on me. The 8 and the 6 would not do math. Only win by 1, but it's still a win. And the NPC will do a few loops of the same. You've seen the same kind of pattern a few times. But it'll continue to try patterns. So here we go. So it does something wild. My thinking now is to play here, this corner. So what do I have? Do I have anything that'll do addition here? I don't think so. I don't have anything that's going to do any major math. But I do have... see, Matoya's not going to be able to play well horizontal. Vertically, great. And I also don't have anything that will win here other than Matoya. But this is the time to use Matoya because playing left and right isn't good. I played this corner because there's no chance of a plus. So here, I could play a little math if I wanted to. There's not really a whole lot, so I have to look at his cards. Let me do a little math in my head. 8 is 12. 6 and 8 is not 12. So I'm just gonna go here. Takes 1, but I'm still 1 up. Another colibri. Sometimes you have to think a little bit on the fly. And that's where it gets you a little bit in trouble. Same pattern. So here, you actually both would work, but then you have to look at your math. If I play a Stinian here, I'm going to take 2 cards, which is great. That leaves me with a 2. 2 and 7 is a 9. Depending on what the scenario is, he could have taken me. But in this case, 1 and 6 is 7. 2 and 7 is 9. I'll go ahead and play that just to show. And that's a good take, but Matoya would have played well too. This also gives him 1 back, whereas with Matoya, wow, 2 nails. With Matoya, he wouldn't have taken that top card, but that was one. You gotta do the math. Plus rule is scary, y'all. So here we want to play up here again. Before that was with Matoya, so I want to take down, and this gives me the left and right approach. Lucia can fight from bottom right left. Stini can fight from the bottom left going to the right. Matoya has no play horizontally. Here is a plus situation, although you want to check your math. If I play a 3, 3 and 4 is 7, and 8 and 4 is 12, so they can't do it. I get the plus here, which combos out. Oh, it took 2 back with it, but it's still worth the extra 2 that I got. Loves that nail at the top. So what I do before, I think I took and I went up with Lucia because I was doing a little bit of math on that one, and I didn't want, these are even numbers, so you gotta watch out that you don't have the same even numbers. And then for math reasons, 7 and 3, 5, not seeing too much math going on here. Yes, they can take Lucia from the bottom here. So let's see what we got here. better play would be here or here. Excuse me while I math man here. That 8 and 6 is tricky. I see it already. Get a little Matoya action. Now I feel comfortable taking this card. If they had played the 8 and 6 where I was, if I didn't have played here, if I hadn't have played Matoya here, his 8 and that 6 and this 6 and that 8 would have taken this and comboed me out of the picture. Now I can feel comfortable taking this card, going 1 up, and he cannot take my Matoya card. That was scary. That was a scary one. 2 left. Make sure you pick the right deck. Done that before. In haste. Play the safe bet. Standing in here. So let's see. Usually when they play in the middle, I try and for some angle. This ain't gonna play there. This isn't gonna play up top. 4, 4, 9, 5, 6. This is a wild one, y'all. Let's play safe. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna play again safe here, and my issue is I may have gotten a tie on this one because of the play I made. 8 and 16, 12, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're kind of running out of stuff here, guys. Oh yeah, see they caused me to draw. So there's my 1 draw. They caused me to draw. They finally threw something at the wall that stuck. And now that he got, I think the NPC looks at that like a win in a sense. They start going back to old patterns again when that happens. I'm going to play Lucia here. Why? Because I've got the plus. 9 and the 2 is 11. 8 and 3 is 11. Play the 8 and 8. See, he's almost like throwing it. Doesn't care. Boom. And that's it. So we're done. We can't rematch and nail Vandarnis. Let's go back to the board and see how we did. 19, 1 and 0. That's not terrible at all. 20 and 0 is preferable. That'll get me on the board, so let's see how we did. Hey, number 3. I really wish I would have won that other one. That would have been quite a steal. But today's the last day of the tournament, so you never know. I don't need the lightning card, but maybe I'll get some pretty decent platinum packs. So hey, you know what? That ain't terrible whatsoever. I'm pretty happy with that. 20 matches, 19 wins, and one tie. So there you go. So I hope you got something out of that. That's pretty much the tournament. That'll come back around in 2 more weeks, and we'll see what happens there. And then if you're interested in looking for some how-tos, I'm thinking about doing some of those in the very, very near future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.